Hello, Twitch universe. We are
Wow.
here.
Yes.
Brian, how you doing, Brian?
Oh, I'm doing very well. Recovering from a party of
Yeah,
which
dude.
I fed many people,
You fed
large
me.
chunks of meat.
You
So
fed me, baby. That meat, I'm still licking my lips.
pretty good,
I'm
you
still
know?
licking my
That's
darn
why
lips.
you put enough salt on a thing, cook it over some nice,
Yeah, did you have butter
coals.
and salt on an excellent cut of beef? Excuse me, of Beth? Then I am there, my friend.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. No, Brian threw an excellent 4th of July. Guys, hope you had a great one. You know, freedom. That's what they tell me. Most incarcerated country on the planet. But yes,
Hey, ooh, shots
we.
fired.
But yet we carry on. All right, take care of yourselves out there. Hope you guys had fun. Hope everybody still has 10 fingers, 10 toes. So Brian, yeah, how you feeling, dude?
I feel good. Yeah, feeling pretty good. Really excited to get back to Coleridge. It's been a long time.
Yeah, as am I. As am I.
Yeah. See how he gets, where he's gonna go. It's really funny because I was telling you I was beating myself up because the last session, what I wanted to do, I was like, oh man, because I guess I had written down that I had sleep as my third spell somewhere. It's not on my
Uh,
sheet. And I was like, oh, I should have made the girlfriend sleep,
y-
pull her out of there, pretend I was like the guy, and like just and be like, all right, so what are all my secrets? Which I don't know how you do.
oh, you're like
You know?
take over his life,
Yeah.
much like
It's like
Revenge of the
hopefully he
Nerds.
dies, and I'm like, all right.
Right, right, right. Oh my gosh.
But
Should we retcon Brian fooling this guy's girl Rosie? I don't think we do. I think
no,
we let
because
it
he doesn't
slip.
have sleep. Sleep's not a warlock spell.
Then there you go.
Uh,
Then the
that's
answer.
I think it's I don't agree with that. I'm just
Hey
saying I don't
man,
agree. I think it should. I think warlocks should put people to sleep because
you're
you
putting me to sleep right now. I'll tell you that much.
know.
No, no, the warlocks definitely. I feel like you're finding that out. I felt that out whenever I built Ukalahn and like barely even played them. But they do not have many spell slots,
No,
and they
no,
have like
no.
almost no armor proficiencies and shit. So
Yeah.
it's tough. It's tough life. Uh, that's why you gotta have fun out of combat, or hopefully find ways to perhaps avoid combat.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I guess last time we got together, Brian and I, well, I mean, we were rehearsing last Friday for Shakespeare,
Oh, right.
obviously. That was massive.
Hmm.
Went well. Pulled it off.
Yes.
We did it.
You
But
did it. You did
I
nothing.
made it. Touchdown. Yeah. I was telling Brian before we went live, I was like, man, I feel like I've just been like coming off of an endurance race. Like there has been I was just cramming lines, cramming cues. So many hours a day were put toward that. And you know my background, you know me. It has never been like that for a week and a half period of just like,
Mhm.
because normally at least I know the fucking script. I'm off book or something. Okay. Well, enough of that. Enough of
Enough
this
of that.
this weary world. Let's step into the realm of Dan Day. I guess I still need to give you the fucking
Oh,
owlbear.
I do need the owlbear so I can
Of
hear that
course.
sweet, sweet music
Of
to your
course.
sweet, sweet exposition,
I'm holding out.
or
Yeah.
summary of what we were.
I would never want to cheat you of that. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Excuse me.
I won't click it.
Yeah, you can. It's a sweet. Okay, where are we? Excusez-moi. Sweet. All right, let the sweet sweets continue. Okay, Bry. I mean Coleridge.
Yeah.
I mean Jaden.
Brother Thomas, I had a couple.
Yeah, you definitely.
And I think Yasin, you really liked Yasin at the end of last thing, so I think
So they could have rolled with that guy.
yeah.
Ooh, you know what? Before we hop in, I do need to announce
Yeah.
that while we were offline, after the shenanigans of Friday, in what can only be considered one long rolling redemption of both the Shakespeare and the audition tape options of the Bongo Chungas, we made it to 150, dude. 150 followers. Shout it out.
Oh,
Bugles
how
up.
about that? Hey, all right.
And listen, this isn't just about me celebrating my own personal goals. It's about announcing that we have again unlocked a raffle and giveaway for, you guessed it, a Coffee Cops tank top. Now, Brian, how would you encapsulate my relationship with tank tops?
I think anyone with arms like yours, sir, would love tank tops.
Go
All
on.
right.
Go on.
So, I find it a little audacious that you wear them personally. I think it's showing off. It's like you walking around without a hat. Like, oh yeah. It's like rub it in there,
Yeah,
John.
you
Rub
got
it
to
in.
do it, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you're hilarious.
No, tank top is it's a great item.
And we've
I
made it
think
for
I
every.
wore my Coffee Cops tank top on a bike ride the other day.
Let's
So
fucking go.
I have 3 degrees of pale, like this is regular pale but sunned.
Mm-hmm.
And this is now sunned once.
Somewhat
And
sun.
this is never sunned.
And then
This
you
is
have the forbidden Arctic, which
Yeah.
has never seen the sun. Yes.
never seen it.
Oh, God
My
bless.
armor
Well,
class goes down.
I want to hop in, so I don't want to slow us down. But the next time I
Sure.
stream, which will probably be Friday, I'm probably going to do some DM prep. We will have a raffle at the end of it. So, buckle
Okay.
up. If you're in the chat that day, you'll have your name entered twice. And thank you very much for the love and support, guys. I appreciate y'all. Okay, shall we? Shall we do it, my prince?
Let's do it.
Yes, the time of doing it is upon us.
Okay. Got some
Coleridge.
shenanigans to do.
Yes. Last session was an interesting one.
Yeah.
We were all picking up, but you found yourself stepping inside what is and was a menagerie, and the sort of lead tri-pulled tent that contained the main event. It seemed to be a different iteration, and as you got to know perhaps one of the disgruntled trapeze artists, McBean, you came to realize that night's performance was a unique one. You saw your companion, Tyranny Goldenfield, known as Ty, summoned forth by a spectral entity that seemed to almost gain possession of him, drawing him into the confines of a wooden box that had been brought out and laid upon a silver table. You and this enormous, hulking man known as McBean from down under, you beat back at this man Mephistopheles who ran this menagerie, as well as two strange figures that had been lurking about the town of Ukalahn. The refiners, high elves, high gray coats, gray collars and hoods, and bone-white hair. They were in the audience that day and seemed to be eyeing you until you realized they were actually eyeing Tyranny. Yeah. And as this sort of combat and interaction wound to conclusion, you found upon the person of Mephistopheles what appeared to be a list of individuals, some of them known to you in the city of Ukalahn. But you stole out of this tent, slashing a hole in it and departing into the night, but not without being spotted by the guard that were en route, hearing some disturbance. But as you often has, Coleridge, you talked your way out of it. You found yourself within the sort of outer graveyard and near the tunnel that led beneath the Temple of Raekwon. And that's where we find ourselves, is you sort of, coming up from the crypt. You hear nothing. The stillness of the night as it pushes, you think perhaps into the early weaning hours of tomorrow. But is there anything, Coleridge, you would like to do tonight?
Yes. Tonight, I want to go over the list of names that I saw.
Cool.
And I want to check the handwriting against the handwriting of Lord Backbrook.
Okay, cool. Okay, sweet. So, you sort of, kick off your boots, make your way again, sort of listening perhaps for Father Gershki. He's nowhere to be found.
Right.
But you pull them out. One, is a copy you'd made while in the Backbrook house and manor, right? You copied this literally from the ledger book. Another piece is something that he himself had penned, almost like a letter to Father Gershki, asking him to release you to come with him on this forthcoming sea journey.
Right.
But the note and sort of, paper that you found written in common, containing a list of pretty notable names. You read them again. The Goldenfields, Tyranny is on there. his
Yeah.
sister Rebecca. You see Jazzy Backbrook. You also see Badrin Backbrook, the lord of the manor, and there's some other names that you don't immediately recognize. Yellowfac is one, just the word like yellow but with one L and then FAC.
Okay, FAC. Okay.
And if you'd like, you can roll a history check, but it is appears to you to be written in certainly a different hand.
Oh, wow. A history check, you say? Sorry. I was looking at all this other stuff. Here are my dice.
Yes, that reminds me as well. I'm like everything else set up except for my favorite part.
I think about, yeah. I'm so involved with like, man, who are all these people that I've met?
Yeah, no, I'm
Okay.
sorry. We haven't played in 2 weeks.
No, here it is. Okay, let's see. 10 plus history. 10.
Cool. So, Yellowfac, you're not really sure. There's oftentimes like confusion in you with names like you've heard and names that you've heard in your personal life versus like in the general public. There was word that they were perhaps connected to this wizard whose lair was said to be in the frozen tier, sort of the western range west of Talbot's Pass. That's one sort of thought you have. The other is that perhaps they were tied into a current, another merchant family, kind of similar to the Golden Fields. You're like, did I see that on the side of a ship, or was it like passed along at the docks at one point in time? You know you're familiar with the name, but you're not able to really pin it down.
Okay. All right. And the style of the script, is it hastily written? Is it beautifully written?
It's sort of a, I think just like with your familiarity, like the actor feat, like there's not necessarily a role needed for this. Like this is something that you are able to break down person to person. You yourself can execute about 15, 20 individual like handwriting styles. In this case, it appears to be an even script, which to you makes you think probably not rushed. It's notably different just because of sort of like a lot of things are capitalized weird. There's just like a different way that the certain letters are finished, etc. But it appears to be almost like, it's just a list of names, which to you is strange. You then pay attention perhaps to the paper, which appears to be of quite nice stock, perhaps scholarly stock.
Okay. That's great. All right. I keep both of these. I put up some of the leather armor and such. I hide that kind of in the crypt. I do, however, take the daggers, and if there's any kind of holster that I have to hide it underneath my monk's robes, I'll take that with me as well.
Cool.
And
And
I'll
Coleridge,
take the
I missed that
I'll
first
take the
thing.
leather.
You were taking the daggers and the crossbow?
Yeah. I'm gonna try to hide everything in my room actually instead of keeping it down here. I might have. Well, no, I won't do that. No, she wouldn't do that. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep a few daggers, and that'll be it. And then I'll keep everything else hidden in my tomb,
Cool.
Down in the undercrypt. But then I go up there, look at the stuff, and go to sleep with those letters and such on my person.
Got you. Okay, copy all that. It's as you say. And sleep finds you, if but fitfully. Strange to enter, a foreign menagerie and smell the coat of a beast quite local to you, or at least local to your childhood. Much less to see the body of a woman rise from what appeared to be a wooden box. A ghastly apparition. Some end result of twisted magic, or attempting some magic of its own. But the morning comes. With it, the cawing of crows and the rising sunlight that fills through some of the closed shutters of your small but private bedroom.
I'll wake up. I'll put on my robes and head out. I'm going to look if there's any sort of roll book in the church, a directory of some sort. I don't know if there would be anything like that.
You know there to be almost like a box, almost like a prayer request box, There's not so much like like an in and out role.
Yeah.
You know that Father Gursky does have like a list of who he considers to be almost like not church members, but people that have donated, people that he wants to make sure that he
Yeah.
can find a way to repay even more than his normal, kind of undertakings. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go and look for those.
Sure.
Prayer boxes would be great. But more the roles of donors, that kind of thing. And I want to look for these other names, particularly Yellowfuck,
Okay, cool.
to see if I can find any kind of matches, and also looking to see if there's any matches in handwriting or anything to the list of names.
Cool. Gotcha. Okay. So the prayer box, easily done. There's no one that's immediately there that in that moment, sort of like in the kind of prayer room that's sort of proximate to this chapel. You can go in there. You go through it. Give me an investigation check real quick.
Okay.
Unless you would like to go search Father Gursky's office first.
If there's nobody around the prayer book, I can do that first. Kind of keeping eyes out on who I forgot the name of the woman that also works there.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll find it. It's not no. It's okay.
I know where she's from. I believe it's like Liesel, is it not?
Yeah, okay. Liesel. I'm looking for her.
I think I'm maybe mispronouncing that, but
Okay.
But yeah, sure. So just give me a perception check as you make your way down there. You do hear like the clear sounds of breakfast being made.
Great.
It does appear like the candles have already been swapped out. You notice that as sort of a meter of time. But give me a perception check.
Perception 12.
12, cool. So you don't see anyone.
Okay.
You assume it's Liesel that's in there sort of cooking.
Right.
You hear the occasional sort of like, broken flat pitch of a singing voice.
Okay. I'll look through the prayer box.
Okay. Pry it open. It's essentially like designed to be fitted in. It's almost like moving apart wooden joints.
Okay.
With a little bit of force, it comes apart easily. You go through it. And give me, it's tough because this is like handwriting based. I would say, give me a deception check.
Deception?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Oh, 11.
Okay.
Oh, it's strong today.
Yeah. So you're looking at these. You have both notes out, right? You have Badrian Backbrook's the sort of note of release that he wrote at your request, right, to Father Gursky. You also have this list that was found on the person of this strange, sort of foppish man, apparently sort of half impish, half gnollish, kind of hard to tell, or gnomish rather. But you have this list of names you found on Mephistopheles' body.
Yeah.
And as you're going through these prayer requests, of which there are several dozen, you do see what appears to be the same hand sometimes, and in some cases the same request. You're like, you don't find anything that appears to be a match with either one of those points of reference. Yeah.
Okay. I'll try to make everything look as if it was untouched, as best I can, and then I will go to Father Gursky's office.
Cool. So you kind of come around into this sort of, cross this kind of courtyard into the area where some smaller rooms are kept. It's also occasionally where people that are in need of it are given room and board. It's a wide kind of open square office. You walk in and Father Gursky is there, appears to be in prayer.
Excuse me, Father. Am I interrupting your morning prayers?
Oh, no. Thomas, my son. In a way, yes, but where many voices are gathered, there is the strength of the message increased. Kneel with me, son.
Sort of pulls you down with him.
I kneel with him.
Sure.
I'm kind of big man.
And give me another deception check, Coleridge.
Ooh. Natural 1 for a 7.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie. He also rolled a natural 1. That's fucking wild to me. Okay, so not that you would necessarily know that. I'm just enjoying that moment.
Yeah, okay.
But you deal with him, and in some cases you feel like he's maybe looking for you to kind of join him, and in some cases you almost do. Finishing the ends of some lines. Once he finishes, you squeeze his hand and put out a prayer of blessing in general for the storm and the seas, which to you feels a little unpracticed. You're kind of like, God damn it. Say less, say less, say less. But the two of you rise.
Sure.
Oh, well, thank you for that. I know that Lizel was whipping up some breakfast. If you have the bother, it's probably beans and toast again, but it warms my tum.
Very thankful for beans and toast. Are you heading down yourself?
Oh, no. He sort of motions down. You see he's like brought his breakfast back.
Well, before I go and enjoy, I had strange dreams last night. Daunting dreams.
Sorry to hear that, my son.
He sort of comes around this wide desk and pulls up what appears to be like a backless stool. The plate is like on the other side of him. He hasn't touched it yet.
What did you dream of?
Well, I think it was reliving the experience at the Backbrooks with the plant that came alive, and the Lady Backbrook there, and the request for him to have me travel with them on a merchant vessel. I dreamt of the dead rising, and I met a man named Yellowfang. And when I woke up, that name is familiar to me, although I don't know how.
And give me, just because this is so funny to me. You know what? Not necessarily advantage. Give me another deception check. I'm sorry to be like pumping these deception checks, Brian. Yeah, there is just cause.
I'm deceptive. Well, yeah. Okay, that's better. 22.
Cool. So, so you inquire. You tell him about this dream, and you see, like, Father Gershki is not necessarily long for this world. But right. There is sort of a brightness to him. He's at his best, his strongest, his most, certainly sharp but engaging in the morning. It fades around 2 o'clock. And he takes this in.
Well, I would think you would know. Yellowfang, the wizard. You saw him rise, did you? Well, that's...
Not him. I was speaking to him. Someone else was rising. How do I know that wizard?
Well, he rose to prominence some years ago. Yellowfang is said to be descended from that ancient wizard that lost his lair in the frozen tier. To hear tell of it, this Yellowfang was doing battle somewhere upon the Giant's Eyes, and there was a contest spoken between sky and earth of which should have this mighty practitioner. Some say he was risen up like a swallow upon the weathers of the morning. Others say the earth broke beneath and consumed him. It is a child's tale, my brother.
A child's dream.
No. There can sometimes be truth in such things. Thank you for sharing. I don't mean to make light of it. Let me ruminate. As to this Backbrook, what consideration have you given? Are you considering joining this merchant quarry?
Perhaps. Do not know if I wish to leave here. I feel at home in my faith and my service to Raquelin. But perhaps being comfort, too much comfort could be unwise. The storm god doesn't like it when we're comfortable. So perhaps I should put some wind in my sails and have my own troubles.
Well, don't look to me to speak words to speed you on.
He rises and sort of comes around and now sort of sits on the front of this desk and almost sits where his plate is. He's like, oh, sort of slides it to the side. You see he's like right across from you, 6-8 inches. Leans over, puts
I go to kind of like brace him, like if he's about to fall.
And he like maybe is, right?
Okay, and as I'm doing it, I'm looking at his desk to see if there's any like
cool
log books, anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah, give me, well, just with your passive, give me a perception check and then I'll tell you what you see with your passive. He sort of leans over to, kind of squeeze your shoulder. He's definitely a little bit unsteady. Use this moment to kind of rise up and catch him in a half embrace, looking past him.
Yeah, my passive is 10. I rolled a 3.
Okay, great. So you do see, like, I mean, it's pretty orderly. You do see what you absolutely recognize as being almost like a prayer hymnal. It's essentially like a uniform scroll that is also available at the front of the church and sometimes handed out depending on what's going on. You do see what appears to be like a leather-bound journal. And then you also see, or just rather know, that there are, drawers within this desk.
Yeah.
But he sits back.
Don't look to me to speed you along, my son. It has been a blessing to have you here.
Well, I would hate to leave you in any trouble to find your way after I'm gone.
No, these bones have been blown free of their trouble. Now I sit plumb in the eye of the storm.
You see, he's sort of enjoying it. He now kind of looks over and, again, very slowly kind of brings the plate to his lap, begins sort of, sopping up some of these beans.
I was young once. I never took to sea such as that, but I wasn't born here in Ukalahn. I was born across the Sea of Serpents. It was another place, another time. Perhaps because I was so close to the giant's eyes, I know this tale of great Yellowfack, but it's these moments that I'll miss, Thomas. This camaraderie, Liesel, she's a bit round, if you know what I'm saying. I mean that metaphorically, not physically.
I hadn't noticed.
You should ask her to, well, you know what, never mind.
No,
And Brian, excuse me, give me one moment.
Sure.
Needed that.
Well, I'll leave you to it, and wouldn't want to bother you for any much longer. If you'll excuse me, I may go have my own beans and toast.
Of course, yes, go. I don't know, but I do know ships depart quickly, so I don't know. Give me a squeeze, even if I'm sleeping. I'd like to see you on your way.
Certainly will.
He sort of nods to you and kind of starts getting up, goes around the other side, sets the plate down properly. If you like, yeah, you would just.
As I do, is he finished with the plate?
Oh no, he's not. He's probably still like, has 3/4 of the way to go.
Okay, I'll try to swipe that journal.
Okay, cool. Yeah, give me a sleight of hand.
23.
Okay, sweet. So you kind of take the moment to be like, and kind of like, I got it type of thing. He's like, okay, sure. You usher him around this desk. Take the plate in one hand and lean over in the same motion with your left hand sliding this journal off. In one hand, you almost instantly sort of curl it and step back, tucking in back and behind your robes. You see his eyes sort of looking behind, like making sure he's like landing on this stool that again has no back. It's sort of like, yo, man, like, come on, dude. You don't have that. You don't have that core.
Strong, baby. Yeah.
Or maybe that's his secret, 100%.
Yeah.
But doesn't apparently seem to notice. He sits down. His eyes looking.
Thank you, my son.
Thank you, Father.
If you are getting beans, add some salt.
He sort of crunches into it.
Certainly. Yeah. And I'll go down to where Liesel's feeding.
Okay, awesome.
I'll just keep the journal without looking at it for now.
Okay, perfect. 2 scoops and 3 scoops. Hey, Thomas. Glad you're here. You here for beans?
Yeah, life.
Everyone comes. Sometimes they come twice for seconds. Here.
Oh, thank you.
Slides over
Need
this.
my sustenance this morning.
It's way too much beans, dude. Like you. I mean, it's like a pretty wide open bowl. This is close to a pound of beans. There is bread available. You see her sort of turning. There are some parishioners you recognize. 2 older women. They appear to be human, and Lysel's sort of kind of in high spirits. Well, you know, they say that there was trouble at the menagerie.
Oh, is that so?
Yes,
Okay.
that's what they say to me.
Who says this?
These women were here. Patrice.
And I know these women. Do I? I recognize them.
Yeah, you see one.
Oh, were you at the menagerie, mistress?
I was not at the menagerie. I would never deem that a safe place to go.
Well, it what did you hear?
I heard the owner was murdered. Yes.
Right.
Oh, that's what everyone's wondering. Some in the crowd say that there were 2 refiners present. They stepped onto the pit themselves and wielded some sort of magic. Others... Yes, they're not to be trifled.
Me, myself, I never think refiners worth what everyone say. They're not, I mean, that tough, come on. Long hair, orange, I mean, weird gray sort of thing. Not my style, very not tough.
Well, you don't really know, Lysel. They could surprise you. Anyway, some people say it was the refiners. Others, a member of the actual menagerie. Some sort of crazed gymnast. He broke a jar of honey and spread it all over his pectorals, and then he choked the life. That's what they say.
Oh, I certainly understand why you don't join such extravagances. But these refiners, I mean, I'm new to this town. Have they been linked to any mischief like this before?
Everywhere refiners go, there's like trouble and then complaints. You see them sort of look back, they're like,
well, not really, not always. They're rarely trifled with the questions, you know, because of the implications, the long reach of the Forge Keeper. Most people just make way and pray that they are not the pointed end of any questions.
Or else they'll end up choked by a member refiner and smeared in honey. Is that right?
I don't know.
she's got you there. You see like the other one's kind of laughing over, she's got you pinned down with that one. I heard that the refiners were the ones that paid off the man to smash the honey all over his chest. Now who was who and who was doing the choking, I don't know. The other one sort of looks at her.
Well, that's kind of what I was saying, was I not? Ugh, let me speak.
And these women sort of go back and forth. And as you sort of like hear them, Coleridge, it's obviously a bit grating. I mean, only you can decide. But yes, you go sort of back and forth. And yeah, I mean, they essentially have given you maybe like 2 or 3 versions of what they hear has happened at this menagerie. If you'd like to ask them anything else,
would I know where to find refiners?
You know, I think you would know like enough to know that they're not. They're almost like they come and go. Dare I say, like tax auditors? I mean, way more kind of militant and dangerous than that, but a similar kind of threat, where there's that sense of like, oh wow, you know, I can't believe I'm being audited. I can't believe the refiners are like showing up at my shop and asking questions.
But they don't have an office anywhere or
no,
a building.
They do, but it's like across the sea.
So would they be? Could I gather that the ones that are here would be staying at an inn, or have they just kind of rented out a house and keep it in secret?
Yeah, you know, you would gather it's one of those probably 2 options, unless they're like camping outside the city.
I wonder how long the refiners will be here. Do you know where they're staying? Any of you?
Well, I don't. I imagine somewhere in the square.
He looks at the other two. Lizel sort of just like sloppy means, I do not take place or keep track of where they go. If one cross me, powie, I punch. And she's like, again, she's like filled up an additional 4 or 5 bowls of beans. You're not sure who they're for.
Well, I won't punch them. I just want to know where to avoid. But thank you, Liza. And ladies, thank you so much for your conversation this morning. But
of course, be safe, Brother Thomas. We'll see you round. Storm take you. Yes, a storm take you.
They sort of give you both their bowls of beans, still heaping, and you would look and presume probably untouched.
I take my bowl and I leave. I'll go back to my room.
Cool.
And
okay.
Yeah, I go back to my room and I want to look at the journal that I lifted off of
Sweet.
Gershki's desk, and just kind of thumbing through it, just looking for anything about refiners, anything about the Golden Fields, Backbrooks, and any kind of writing reference or list of names in there as well that would match.
Got it. You mean in terms of like going through this, looking for those things, and
yeah,
also kind of consulting them relative to this list.
Yeah, just cool. Kind of quickly, like a thumb through. I don't know how full it is, but thumb 3 pages, read a few lines. Thumb 3 pages, read a few lines. Not that I don't want to spend all day.
No, totally. So, I'd say just give me another investigation check, just to sort of catch a feel for like your pacing, how focused you are in this moment, going through it.
I'm not focused. I'm not focused at all. I think I know what I want to do, and I put the book down. I rolled a 1. I rolled a 1.
Shit.
I'm not focused. And I kind of know that. Yeah.
But you can obviously read. This was more just to determine like how long does this take, right? And you do find yourself like almost spiraling out. Like you're trying to sort of connect some dots. I think for what it's worth, you were still within the menagerie tent when you heard another gnomish man named Bastion sort of pulled by McBean from one of the kind of connected rooms within this tent and questioned as to like what the fuck's going on. And as that question was put to them and an intimidation check was passed, you heard Bastion explain like, this is bigger than you. Like the refiners are looking for noble blood. They think they can find it like Mephistopheles was helping them. And that's, rough encapsulation, but it was, said in front of you in that moment. So I think as you're sort of looking at this and you're thumbing through, you're more thinking on that end where you're like, man, what the fuck? And then there's this list, like some of them are definitely rich, presumably maybe noble. You find yourself like flipping pages in this journal without really realizing it. You're like 6-7 pages deep. You're like, have I read anything? You go back. Many of them are legitimate journal entries. Some of them like notes to self style things, like a lot of the basics, like remember to get this barley, remember to get 12 candles, etc. You do find some cool stuff where it's almost like little bits of notes to self that are reminding him to thank you for certain things, or to make sure that he like leaves out something for Lizel that she'd ask for specifically.
Forgot to thank me for that.
Yeah. And but as you go through it, you're able to kind of get a bigger picture perhaps into this man. He's certainly a genuine man of faith, at least from these quiet moments, but you're not really able to find anything that's relevant to this list, or relevant to, you certainly don't find Lord Backbrook's handwriting, for example.
Okay, great. I'll take it with me, and I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna sneak into the tombs.
Sweet. And this, it's probably pushing, past 8 towards 9. You head down there. Cool. Yeah, you enter the tombs, and again, for like the second time in your life, and I think there's maybe like a moment where you're like, oh shit, like is the fullness of the daylight going to affect this? Right. But as you slip open this door and catch it against its own rust making noise, you turn. And moving from the full brightness coming in from this courtyard and interior and looking downward into the pitch black, you see as if it was full day. I mean, still, it's grays, right? It's still black and white.
Yeah.
But The angle is perfect. The depth of field is perfect. You find yourself walking and really seeing the catacombs in a way that you'd only really seen the night before. I mean, many of these busted statues are somewhat familiar. But I would say give me either another history check or a perception check.
Oh my. The one.
Oh my God.
For everything, yeah.
I'm so sorry, dude. I'm not even trying to like, this is only for like, yeah, I'm not trying to like, well.
No, it's all right. I think I'm nervous about what it is that I'm thinking about doing. So I'm like stumbling into shit.
Yeah. No, there's a distracted air about you for sure.
Yeah.
You see rows of busts above some of these empty ensconcements containing coffins that you just hadn't noticed before.
None of them say. Yeah. So I can't read right now. All right. Yeah. I'm gonna go. I'll put the journal. I'll hide the journal among my stack. I'm gonna take out some paper and ink.
Cool.
I'm gonna write a letter in Lord Bolingbroke's hand.
Backbrook, for sure. Let's do it.
Backbrook. And it's going to be not addressed to anyone, but news or rumors of your rumors of your intentions have found my way. I wish to strike a parley. Perhaps I can help you in attaining royal blood. Meet me. Is there a private place that I know, like where not many people would be, in a cemetery of some sort?
There's definitely some areas that you're familiar with as being like quieter. This is a town where the ports are certainly busy, but things really shut down with the sun, 7, 8 o'clock.
Okay.
But just to give you this reference.
Yeah.
This area kind of along the eastern gates. Some very, very quiet pubs around this area.
Okay.
Kind of across the canal.
Oh, do I know a pub? I knew the pub. I don't know. Would this be Melinda and Gaithburn? That was kind of my thing. But is there? Well, is there a pub over there that I know is pretty empty all the time?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to know exactly what the clientele is going to be like. But yeah, there are definitely some quiet pubs.
Or maybe a pub that's not, or something. How about? I just want to say, meet me in the alleyway next to a pub that's in that area.
Cool.
Of town.
There's a spot called the Oarsman. That's like a straight up, like, you know, pretty raucous, like brass tacks kind of bar. There's a little bit of a nicer spot that's called the Curtained Room. It's more of kind of a B&B, but they definitely have like a really nice, you know, they serve drinks.
I say something to the effect of, I will help you attain the royal blood you're looking for. Send one to meet me alone for my own safety by the alleyway of sorry, what was the name of the pub again? Sorry.
There's one called the Oarsman, and there's one called the Curtained Room.
The Curtained Room.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay,
and I'm just gonna write a B on it.
Got it.
I'm not gonna sign his name.
Okay. Amazing. No role needed for this. This is something you're capable of. I would say that, you know, in general, much like even sort of a spell, like it's not necessarily bulletproof, right? I mean, like certainly like Lord Backbrook could find this and potentially have the wherewithal to be like, did I fucking write this, right? And but so I think you know that exists, right? But you write this up, you fold it, you have it on your person, you sand it briefly so it doesn't smudge, and you're kind of sitting within these catacombs. And as you're sort of writing this, you know, perhaps taking your time, occasionally looking up, you find your thoughts scattered. And what would you like to do, Coleridge? Like where are you intending to take this letter, if that's something you're intending to immediately do?
I'm gonna armor up, get all my stuff. I'm gonna alter my alter self, or I'm gonna change my image. What's the word for it? But I'm gonna disguise self as something, like a young page boy, right? In like kind of meager clothing and such.
Gotcha. Well, see, you now have Mask of Many Faces, right?
Yeah.
So it's certainly not a disguise kit. Like it's straight up the alter self spell, right?
Yeah. So, well, I think it's disguise self, not alter self, because alter self is like because it's still an illusion. Like if I pretend to be a big fat person, then they can rub their hands through it. So I don't want to go. Got it. I really just want to look different than what I do, but I want to be kind of like the most like, and I can't change my height much, but
it's a foot, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, is it? Hold on, let me find that. Hold on, I should know this. Sorry.
Yeah, you can see him a foot shorter or taller. You can appear thin, fat, or between.
And it's gaze of two lines, mask of many faces is, yeah, disguise self. Yeah, so I'll be shorter, and I'll have like a really round, very like sweet-looking face, kind of like shaggy, unkept hair, a couple of like. Cool. Smudge marks, but just like a boy who, like an adolescent boy who's just like kind of coming up and maybe like a page of some sort.
Gotcha.
But like,
okay, sick.
Like weak and scared, But
got it.
I'm gonna go out. I'll have my everything on me, kind of tucked in some robes and such. And I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna try to go to the marketplace where I saw those two refiners.
Awesome, sick. Okay, very cool. I would say, just because it's a beautiful moment and I love your backstory so much, that for one of the first times in your life, perhaps the first time in your life, you're sort of seeing, you have, sort of your powders laid out, some different kind of foundations you've used, different types of brushes and sponges you use depending on, what you're putting on, facial hair, this, that, the other. And as you sort of reach up and begin to kind of, go underneath your eyes, try to make yourself younger, you catch your reflection and see that you already are. Wield well my power. You hear sort of a lilting voice spread through this empty tomb.
It will just keep me alive long enough to use it more.
You hear sort of laughter at a distance, trilling around some of these catacombs. But you make your way out.
Yeah.
And feel almost no blinding adjustment. I mean, you feel like your eyes are nearly impenetrable. Like from the shift, you kind of step out, boosh, full sun, you're ready for it. And as you're sort of heading that way, it's a short 10-15 minute walk, coming from like where you come out of this sort of, tunnel hatch and winding your way a little bit, west by northwest. But sure enough, you make it there. You see the, many kind of stalls of active, bartering and sales. You see several individuals that you recognize. You see the gentleman that was this sort of gardener, with the exception of squash that he was trying to sell you on. And yeah, I mean, there's about, 12, 15 different sort of individual setups. And there's a good, 45, 55 people kind of milling about, transacting, etc.
Yeah. Do I see any refiners lurking about?
Yeah. So give me a perception check. And also, like, I assume you're kind of to some degree just sort of posting up, like just keeping eyes, like
just kind of blending in, and then but like looking for that. Also looking for Ty, the Rosie, and the Backbrooks. Anybody like that?
Okay. Yeah, give me a perception check, and I'm gonna roll a couple things. Cool.
Natural 20.
Let's go. Turn ye fortunes, my prince.
Right.
So several things happen over the next 60 to 75 minutes.
Yeah.
You're pretty positive that one of the town guards is sleeping with the baker's wife. There's just like twice that he comes by and sort of checks in. And the second time you see that, her hand more or less runs up the sort of stall side arm that he's allowed to rest on it. Just something you clock. You're like, that's unusual. And you're a master at understanding human behavior. At sort of the several other things unfold, but those of note related to this. You do see Rosie. actually walking by herself. She appears to have what appears to be a large cut of bacon, several heads of cauliflower. She's like kind of head in the clouds, and is walking next to another woman.
Is the other woman a dwarvish woman as well?
She is, yeah.
Do I recognize her at all? Do I know if it's her or like is it Ty's mother or whatever?
You know, if you'd like, give me a medicine check.
Medicine?
Why not? You heard me.
Oh yeah. Okay. 15 plus 0, so 15.
Cool. Yeah, DC was 11. You recognize this as most likely being Rosie's mother.
Rosie's mother.
I think a little bit that you put in with the fact you're like, that's a pretty, like you can see a little bit of fraying around the shoulders, a little bit of dirt still kept in the hem and also the ends of sort of the lacy ends of her dress. Yeah. But they're about 75 feet away from you. You feel quite confident that Rosie could walk right by you and have no idea who you are, of course. But
right.
You do see them like kind of, moving about. They appear to be waiting in line at the baker's stall.
Okay, and I don't see any refiners anywhere?
You don't know.
Alright, okay, I'll go up to, I'll go up to Rosie. If I see her, and like kind of like walk up and like look and be like, "Oh, hi, so sorry to bother you. You were at the show last night.
What?
You were at the show with the tent, huh?
How'd you know that I was at the show? How'd you know?
I saw you there. It was the scariest thing I ever saw.
Oi, who you doing talking to my girl?
Oh.
What the fucking hell? Why would you? Hey, she's been through a traumatic event and you're bothering her?
Oh no, I was.
The fuck are you, man? Come on. She's but a child. She went through fucking hell last night. If you've heard about it, you should know better than not to ask.
Well, and I was there as well, and I was so scared. I didn't make it out. I was hiding under the benches.
I told you, Mum, it was awful, sort of bad. It was real bad. I don't fucking care. Well, if you were hiding under the benches, why weren't you helping out my girl? She almost got dragged into the whole mess herself.
Oh,
Love of her fucking life. Timothy Goldenfield, he's banged up. Now he doesn't want to run with her no more. All because of shit like that. So please, if you would like to put salt in our fresh wounds, sir.
No, sorry. I didn't mean to. Honestly, I didn't.
Mom, if he was there, it was scary.
I just don't have anybody to talk to myself about it.
It's all right, mister. I don't know what side you were on or how long you stayed, but I couldn't take my eyes off it. I mean, that thing seemed like death itself sort of reared out of that coffin. It was most horrible.
Yeah, it scared me. Did you see those refiners coming in?
Yeah, they seem to be going after Ty. That's what I'm trying to tell him. Oh, I don't know.
I haven't seen any around today. I've been looking to try to stay away from them, but I have a feeling they were looking for me too.
I don't like them any more than you. I heard tell that they were staying at Lord Derrick's house, Lodge Manor over on the west side in Westfield. I don't know.
Away from there. Staying away from there, awfully sweet. Thank you so much. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring this up, and madam, I'm real.
Yeah,
apology.
well, come off it.
Okay.
Although I will say, we are. And she sort of like hikes up the side of her apron. The gentleman might offer to buy our bread.
Okay.
All right. See, that's you handle something when
I
you come in rude. I appreciate that.
Okay, I come in.
Rosie, make way. It's gonna come on.
No, I don't. I start kind of singing. Just give me 1 second, ma'am, and I go to another person. And how much is the bread?
The bread is like, I mean, depends, but like all the way from 4 copper to 3 silver.
I see kind of a person like is the soldier still there that was like
Yeah,
doing the
yeah,
thing with the wife?
yeah. I mean,
I go
like,
up to hey, I'll be right back, right back. Hey, officer, I sing you a song for silver pieces.
I don't want to hear a song, boy. Out of my way.
Tell you, sorry, it's a sweet song for 4 silver pieces.
Step
That's all
off
it cost
me,
you.
lad. I'm not interested in hearing your tale, nor adding
Oh,
to your charity.
You'll love it. You'll love it. It's an intrigue song. It involves a man who finds out that his wife is unfaithful, and he goes on a tangent.
All right, enough.
It's a doozy.
I
You wanna
said
hear-
enough, man. Make a persuasion check. At advantage, I'd say.
Oh, an advantage, good. 4 and a 5.
Oh shit!
Persuasion is +6, so it's 11.
Cool. So he sort of looks back. I'll play your fucking song then.
Well,
All right, how about this? How about I just pay you in a knot, rather, huh? He fishes out 4 silver. Kicks you 2.
thank you, sir. I hope you do well in all your adventures.
Yeah, get on with yourself.
And I'll walk back and I'll see like, hey, bread's on me.
Hey, well, you sorted him out, huh? Okay, well, pay the man. Vinny! You see like a very sort of browbeaten human man come over. I mean, like enormous forehead, hair kind of coming out in spikes. Yeah. Takes the coin from you. You giving him 2 silver pieces?
Yeah, I'm paying for Rosie's.
Cool, yeah. Brings
yeah.
out 2 enormous loaves. One appears to be whole wheat, one sourdough. But they're like the size of a medium-sized shield.
Okay.
Oh, well, thank you, master. Appreciate that. Put your hands on. Come on, Rosie. Sorry,
Rosie.
I hope you feel better.
Yeah. You too, Rosie. I'm sorry. I'm Jimmy. Our names rhyme. You might know my older brother. Dexter. No, he's like a bigger guy, like like beard, long beard. No. Oh, anyway. I'm sorry. Oh, anyway.
Feel better. If you see Ty, please tell him I'm sorry about what happened.
Is he okay? Is he in the hospital?
You see, like the mom's about 4 feet away, and she's like, his mom got real mad at me, and his dad's sort of he's apparently off at sea, he's not even home, but she said I can't see him no more, so I don't know, he seems pretty banged up, like scared and still recovering and such, but I don't know, it wasn't my fault, it was chaos,
Yeah, well, my brother, if you can get Ty to sneak away, the curtained room, the curtained room?
Yeah, sort of like,
he works there, and he's got ways to get you out of here with Ty if you want, but I didn't say it.
Did Ty say he wants to go?
You'd have to get Ty to go with you over there.
Fucking hell, Rosie, come on!
Anyway, if you think about it, over there by the alley at the curtained room this evening, sunset.
Okay.
Anyway, he'll be there. Bye.
Oh,
And I'll run
Jimmy.
away.
You see, she's like desperate. Anything that seems like a potential solution or a reconnection to Ty, she's like, okay, maybe. Yeah, give me another persuasion check.
Okay. Oh God, I'm rolling like such terribleness. It's
I
not.
hate that.
Yeah. God. All right.
I feel like that was my first session as Gabby. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. It's just like God. All right. So 9.
Okay.
Anyway,
Tough.
I run away. Is there like a young poor kid around?
Yeah, you passed one.
All right. I kind of.
walk.
All right. I see like a poor kid, like that's close to, and I want to go talk to this kid.
Okay. You come up to him and you see sort of this guard sort of leering at you as you leave, and you go around back the corner towards sort of this main area near the canal just south of where the chapel is.
Yeah, I want to still keep if I can, like keep eyes on Rosie as well, like, if I can.
Oh, got you.
I want to pay this kid. I'm looking for somebody to pay to follow Rosie.
Got you. Okay.
If there's any like street urchins and shit that I would know. Anybody
So
like that?
this guy is essentially about probably 300 feet back. So it would take, you about, 30, 60 seconds, depending on how easily persuaded this guy is. There's also, you could also just pay him, that might work. But you got the impression that they were still shopping. So I think it's one of those things where you can't necessarily keep eyes on her, but you feel like you probably have at least 90 seconds, 3 minutes, if not more.
Yeah. I go up to, a kid or, whatever, and I just go, hey, kid.
Yeah.
Hey.
You see, he's literally like missing the end of his right arm.
You want to, you need a few gold pieces? You want to make a little few gold pieces? And I hold up 4 gold pieces in my hand.
She's mister, yeah. It's not anything weird, is it?
No, nothing weird.
Okay.
So there's a cute little dwarven girl and her mom. They're shopping. Her name's Rosie. I want you to keep eyes on them. Tell me where they go. I'll meet you in an hour. Back in the marketplace. Okay. 1 hour.
Okay.
I'll give you 1 gold now.
Wait, okay. Yeah. But who's this Rosie?
And I kind of will go out. Here, come with me. And
you see him get up. He's sort of walking with you. This guy appears to either have been like born with some pretty extreme like scoliosis or suffered some pretty serious injury. He's older than like the kid you sort of described, but he's still that kind of in between, probably late teenager. He's walking with you.
All right. Do we see her?
Yeah, you still do. You still do.
Okay, cool. You see that? That girl there? She's got the 2 loaves of bread with her mother.
Okay, yeah, dwarven girl.
Just follow her. 2 hours. Follow her, and then I'll meet you here. I just want to know where they go. Okay. Here's 1 gold now. You can take this and not do anything. But if you come meet me here, tell me where they went. You get the other 3. Okay. Does that sound like a deal?
Deal. Yeah, you got it.
Okay. Thank you. What's your name, kid?
Case.
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 Case. Case. I'm Jimmy.
Yeah. Okay. Nice to meet you, Ginny.
And I'll bounce.
Okay, he sort of looks up at you and then looks back. You see he like immediately starts making his way. Yeah. You're like looking back, you're like, God damn it, don't get too close. He almost sort of like walks past and goes on the other side and is sort of like loitering. You see some people like kind of uncomfortable that he's even there. This guy's in rags. But he does appear to have taken the case for sure.
Okay.
And I think you feel confident that like with how crowded this is, like nobody's probably going to pay this guy 2 seconds. Although I will roll for it. So that happens. You tell him to meet you in essentially 2 hours. And what were you departing? Where are you going, Coleridge?
I'm gonna go to Lord Derek's.
Okay. Cool. Sweet. So I'm not sure if you remember the one of our first sessions when we were world building. I'm sorry, I'm talking to Brian real quick.
Huh?
But this is an homage to that. I mean, the storyline was already plugged in, but Derek, you'll know. You make your way back to sort of the western edge, this area where you'd gone, and it's a little bit further down from where the backbrooks are. You can see this larger kind of red house, the very kind of northwest corner. You ask around, it's easy enough to find. You see a very large, either 2 or 3 story house. Enormous sort of, canopied wraparound porch that extends either way and kind of back. You get the feeling like the space, that sort of like inner abbey almost created behind this that leads up to the buttress of the town walls is also part of this estate.
I want to stay at a place where I can just kind of watch it for 10 minutes or so and see if I see any refiners or anybody going in and out.
Okay, cool. And are you
If there's
trying
like
to
an
be
activity
stealthy
I
at all,
can
or-
do, like I'm just trying to do like what would somebody be doing? Like whittling a stick of some sort.
Sure,
You
okay.
know? Yeah.
Easy enough to do. You find one. It's almost like you're turning into sort of like a vague. Is that a heron's head? Is that an arrow point? You're sort of just kind of taking your time with it, unless you're trying to do something else.
No, I'm trying to see if I see any refiners on the streets, anybody, Lord Derek going into the house, anybody through the windows, anything like that.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
So let me just double check something.
Sure.
Okay, sweet. So you take 10 minutes. You're sort of there, like idly doing this. No roll needed. It's an innocuous enough activity. You're in disguise. You're posted up.
Okay.
10 minutes come and go, and then perhaps if you'll allow it, another 20. And you get the feeling that the morning is moving closer to the afternoon. You haven't seen anyone immediately go in or out. You do see movement at one point on the second floor, like someone in livery is sort of walking past an open window, you do see. There are other occasional moments like that. You see some curtains thrown open by what appears to be a small boy that is confirmed as the third floor.
Okay.
You, of course, can keep waiting.
There's no traffic going in and out of the house?
Not in the 10 minutes you're there now.
Do I know who Lord Derek is?
Yeah, no rule needed on this. You've been in Ukalahn for a long enough time. He's considered the Lord Protector. It's not really a voted upon position. It's almost like when a town sort of deputizes a sheriff, right? Like sort of a similar dynamic. Extremely wealthy individual.
Yeah.
He himself is a half elf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are the refiners mainly elven, or are they half elves, or?
Say it one more time.
Are the refiners mainly elven or half elves? Or?
The refiners are high elves, yeah.
High elves, yeah. Okay. But there doesn't seem to be anybody around, right?
Not immediately, no.
I'll walk around the back of the house.
Okay.
You see anybody?
So, you just kind of walking around this side?
Yeah, just the side, the back.
Cool. So you come around, you walk up to it, you walk around the side of it. You see it does sort of spill out. There's no fence. Spills into a back. You do see what appear to be children's toys back there, just immediately. What appears to be like a small circular ring that's raised about 6 or 7 feet off the ground. It's hanging from what almost looks like a C stand. Is probably the best way I could describe it. A copy, but you make it around to the back. It is a very large house. You see that the canopy or the porch doesn't wrap around, but that behind it there's almost like separate, a very nice kind of 90 by 40 gazebo style area that's been laid out in the backyard.
Their basement?
Give me an investigation check or perception.
11.
Okay. You look around. You see what appears to be a back door, and then it's sort of a large double door kind of thing. You see also on the side a single door. One of them has steps leading up to it from the side of the house you went around. The other is sort of splitting the difference between the back of the house and this sort of gazebo area. You don't see a basement.
The back door locked?
So you walk up to it. Put your hand on it. Begins to slide open.
I'll push it open.
Okay.
See if there's anybody in there.
Give me a perception check.
10.
10, cool. You look around. You see an area to the right that looks like sort of the back area of a kitchen. You see a curving kind of nook around the side with a bunch of shoes set up. You're like, oh, that's probably the servants' quarters. Around to the left, it seems to kind of open up. You see a lot of light spilling out, and about 70, 80 feet past another set of doors, one of which is open. Appears to be kind of a living room behind that. You don't see an individual. You do hear the sound of someone walking above you.
They're like, tell you what, my mind. I want to, if I were to go in and open a window or unlock a window that is normally locked and came in later tonight when it's dark, do I see anything like that?
Cool. Okay, great. So from where you're sitting, you did see a very large kind of like sliding window. It was down from where the double doors were. It's very, very big. It appears to spill into kind of like a foyer, kind of an open area connecting different segments of the house. If you'd like to go into this sort of common kitchen area, you absolutely can. And if you'd like to go somewhere else, but that's the only window that you see right now that is openable. Others are like strictly planed glass that could, you know, be shattered or in other ways manipulated. But
yeah, I'll go in and look at that area.
So you're going into the kitchen and commons, sweet.
Yeah.
And you're just walking in there.
Yep.
Okay, great. So you sort of walk in there and, you know, wide wooden table. There's an area to the right that wraps around. You see a bunch of cubbies and, like I described, like some effects, several sets of shoes. As you sort of walk in, you see there's a large pantry-way that connects like this area that's sort of a common shared space and the kitchen. And you see in the kitchen 2 women that are actively cooking. You walk around this area. As you sort of come in, you do see that there is another door that does appear to have a very small sliding window that leads out from this sort of shared common area into the backyard. There's no immediate windows in this room or in that pantry-way.
Okay, so that window that I saw that is in the kitchen where the 2 people are, so I can't go in there and unlock that window.
The window you saw was kind of like the opposite direction of the commons. It was towards that living room area.
That's where I wanted to go into. I wanted to go to that window and unlock it.
Great.
Just so I can come back.
Okay.
Here.
You walk over there.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. You walk over there. You're sort of just like, you know, maybe that rush of just like being inside this location. Who knows? You walk over and you move, and you see that the latch was indeed closed. It's almost like a stoppered kind of bolt that is either lowered or loosened. And you loosen it, draw it back.
Okay. I'll go back outside. Does it feel like I could open up the window from the outside and sneak in if I wanted?
You sort of immediately pull it out. You're like, okay, cool. You think so because there's no like, you're literally just pulling back on one of the handles. It's not like there's a knob on the inside that loosens it. You feel like it's rather a question of this, whether or not this stopper is engaged or not.
Okay, great. I'm gonna try to sneak out the back door.
Okay.
The way I came in and walk around to the front door.
The DC on someone finding you has been 12 this whole time. As people were moving around. And as you're sort of heading back out the entryway, you hear footsteps, not from above you now, but sort of coming down what you must presume is a pantry-way. As you're sort of coming around the corner, you see a woman coming around. Very surprised. Excuse me?
Yeah.
I almost dropped the casserole.
Oh, no, don't drop that. No, sorry, I'm a little bit backed up. They sent me here. I'm supposed to be getting like some like berries. They said to get berries or there. Anyway, I was at the front door. I was knocking. I came in the back. I couldn't, no one's here. Is anyone here? Anyway, I'm supposed to get berries for what's his tie? Mr. Goldenfield. They sent me over here.
Mr. Goldenfield sent you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, his people. I just, they gave me, 2 silver pieces, and they said, "Hey, go get some berries and bring them back over here." And I haven't eaten all day, so, yeah.
Okay, give me a deception check.
Okay. I think I'm good at deception. Yeah. 25.
So you sort of lay this out for you. See, she's like, just give me a second. She walks past you to this common area and lays down what looks like an enormous kind of casserole of pot pie. Very nice looking brown crust atop it. Smells wonderful. She looks back. Hey, Sheena! She sort of calls back again, and again you see like another sort of older woman come out. What appears to be the problem? She's like, now looks back to this other kind of younger one. Well, this guy said that he's here to get some berries?
Yeah,
you know anything about that?
He's not feeling well, I think. The kid's not feeling well, so they were like, get some, see if, Lord Derek's got these like good berries, makes him feel good. I don't know. Anyway, they gave me 2 silver. Sorry I'd be in here like this. I knocked on the front door and and then I just came around the back and this door was open. So I just kind of called out here, and that's why I ran. I'm sorry. I feel like this is weird now.
Well, it is a little strange for you to come inside, but we also...
the door was open. I was calling out. I was just making sure everything was okay.
Okay, well, I don't know how we didn't hear you. Give me another deception check.
Another.
Well, she just rolled that.
Okay. 17.
Cool. Okay. Well, yeah, we don't... I mean, we have some blackberries.
Maybe that was...
They're not particularly fresh. I mean, I think they're on their way to jerky, really, at this point. But you can have them. I'm confused.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks. I'm confused too. They were just kind of, I'm looking for work in these. You guys need any help in hands here? Anything to do? Because I was just walking by.
Shut the fuck up, Martha.
Oh yeah, I'll take your job. What are you doing?
No, you cannot.
I can carry cotton.
She's my apprentice. She's a cook's apprentice. And the Golden Fields do a lot more than just take in anybody that comes wandering through the back door.
Well, it wasn't him. They were in front of their house. They said it was I don't know, their man there. I forgot his name.
Okay. You can see they're like very confused. They're looking at each other. After a moment,
don't want to do it. It's fine. I just, I haven't eaten all day and I don't have any.
She disappears around the side. She comes back about 3 minutes later with what appears to be a very shallow clay dish full of some withered but still certainly edible blackberries.
Thank you. Okay, thank you so much. Hey, do you need help with those cottage pies?
You see the girl's like, yeah, we were just about to eat. We were about to have a shared meal here in the Goldenfield Estate. So, we're good. We're quite fine. Thank you very much. All right.
All right. Well, thank you.
See the girl kind of looking, and she's like, sorry. You see her sort of like a bit kind of miffed by her companions. And what's Vaga, love ya. And yeah, and you essentially make your exit if you'd like, but
yeah,
the older woman certainly has her eyes on you. He's like, what the fuck is going on? But you tuck around to the backyard. You look behind you into this main sort of shared open area. You do not see anyone immediately there. And you step back into sort of the late morning sun.
Okay. Well, seems like anything's working. All right, I'll do I know where the Goldenfields live?
They're kind of down this same street. They're not far away.
I'll walk over to the Goldenfields.
Okay. And okay, got you. So as you're sort of walking away, you see kind of coming down, sort of cornering the street. You're about 800, 1,000 feet away from where the Goldenfields house is, right? You've never been there. You did meet Ty, so you assume he's like within, if Rosie is to be believed. You do see at this point, sort of heading towards his house, the Lord Protector, Derek. It's essentially Lord Protector Chalamet. He is a man that even from a distance is somewhat recognizable, merely from the sheen of his armor. But as you're sort of waking there, you watch him pass, and you're now about 800 feet away from his house that you were just within. He's sort of passing you by, doesn't appear to immediately kind of notice. He's astride a horse and in conference with someone that appears to be a full-blooded elvish man that is riding a horse next to him. You get to the Goldenfields, though, you're about,
There's an elvish man next to him?
Yeah.
Okay. But he's not wearing any of that finer stuff.
Doesn't appear to be wearing a gray cloak. Give me an investigation check, though, or perception, if you'd like. Sort of take this moment.
No, it's a 6.
Does appear to be wearing, somewhat uniform clothing, but certainly isn't in these, high-collared gray jackets and gray hood.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, Lord Protector. Hey, Lord Protector?
You seem sort of stop, look back. Was there something you needed, my child?
Yeah, sorry. Thank you so much. Well, it's very weird. My name's Jimmy. Hey, so it's so strange. A guy came up to me and gave me a gold and said if I deliver this letter to some refiners, that that I could have that gold piece. And he said that the refiners are over near your house, but I haven't seen any.
Well,
You know those guys, those elvish guys with the long collars? Anyway, I have this letter. I'm not supposed to read it. Not supposed to read it.
Make a deception check.
I'm sweating.
What is it?
8.
8. Wow. You see sort of the furrowed brows of this individual. I mean, wearing no small sum of money visible on his chest. I see. Well, Master, you see him sort of turn to this high elf. The high elf has, you just noticed for the first time, is like kind of like staring at you in the same way a butcher might stare at a piece of meat that he's about to chop apart. It's that same sort of like very sort of detailed undressing.
I don't know.
I think
I'm trying to get something to eat. A gold piece. Wow.
Come with me, my son. There will be gold for you and a meal as well. He sort of gets down from his horse. And you see the, surely you don't mind, Master Salin. You see him, he's sort of like, assents. Sort of nods his head to you, this elf. If it is how it must be, then let it be that way. I'm a patient man. Well, there we are. Come with me, boy. How long since your last meal? You look well enough, but I don't want anyone here under my protectorship going hungry.
I mean, it's okay. I can just give you the letter, because then I can get my gold.
No. Let me pay you the proper way. He sort of is walking with you and making casual conversation. The elf has not gotten off his horse, but he kind of falls in. He's 10, 15 feet kind of off to the right, a little bit behind maybe, but...
Sure. Okay. All right. Well, geez. Okay. What do you have?
He's walking astride with you. Well, I have some pears, which, let me assure you, were not easy to come by. But I do have them. But we'll get some stew into you. Perhaps, I don't know, a tart with a little bit of cinnamon on it. We'll find something to cheer you up. Tell me your name again, lad.
That's Jimmy.
Jimmy, okay. Well, come, Jimmy, we'll make sure that you're fed. And he leads you essentially to this same manor house that you have just left.
Uh-huh.
The elf sort of, walks through. There's a main gate. He gets down, opens it. This half-elf does, the Lord Protector. The elf rides through it. He then sort of bids you to enter. He's still leading his horse.
All right. And you guys don't even want this letter? Should I read it to you, or what?
Oh, no, please. Give it to me. Okay. He extends a hand. He takes it from you. You giving it to him?
Yeah. I'm real curious, so it was real hard for me not to read it. I didn't, though. I didn't read it.
He looks at it. There's like no seal on it whatsoever, right? But if you, but if you'd like, you can either make a persuasion or a deception check.
But because just say I didn't read it.
Well, just again, as this is sort of just like phase 2 of it. 18. Okay, great, cool. I believe you, boy. I believe you. No reason to be up in arms. Yes. You should have prized it back. Yes, I see. Well, I can't promise you that I'll be sharing the contents of a letter addressed to me, one of which you were asked. But tell me, who was it that gave you this letter? He hands it to his companion. The elf takes it without taking his eyes off you. Starts unfolding it.
It was oh shit. Hey, when I was at Lord Backbrook's, there was a servant there, right?
Yes.
What did that servant look like?
She was quite old. She was more like almost like a kept nurse.
No, the soldier that came in and helped out.
Oh, Tyson.
Tyson, yeah. He was. I'm gonna kind of vaguely
Actually, it was
describe.
Tylus. I'm so sorry.
Eyeless. I'm gonna vaguely describe that person.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Very, very easy for you to do. You make the decision to do it and do so.
Yeah, he had like a sword, you know,
I see.
and like, you know, and I asked for 2 gold because he seemed to be like he really wanted someone to do it, and I was like, but then he like grabbed the sword and I said 1 gold's fine, you know. I didn't want it. Yeah, sometimes you don't get these opportunities very often. The fact that he's just like, hey, you can have gold.
He sort of tethered his horse. You guys are now like walking up to the front of this house.
How much money do you guys make?
Well, enough, lad, enough to pay you for your honesty, and perhaps add a little more for your discretion.
Oh, cool.
Master Seelan, he sort of motions to this elf who has been ahead of you, somewhat turned in thought. He turns to you, and give me either a history check or an insight check.
I don't think I'm 0 on both. I think insight and history are both 0s.
Gotcha.
So 18.
Okay,
18. Yeah.
nice roll.
Not bad, not bad.
You see a sigil which you somewhat recognize. A crest of mountains being split by what almost looked like a rising figure with a one arm raised. And I think in that moment of insight, you recognize this is not a refiner, certainly. Doesn't appear to be one of the men that you've seen. Doesn't appear to be a person wearing sort of this uniformed look that they've rocked out in. But you feel in a brief moment that this person is connected to them. The door's open for you. And all the while you see like this elf go inside, and he walks about 10, 15 feet and sort of waits. The Lord Protector, Derek, is essentially holding this thing open and is prying through his coin purse at his waist. Go in, boy. I meant it when I said discretion. That's something I'd like to guarantee. I don't want you going back to whoever this man was that sent you and or
No,
anyone
sure.
else.
I know all the big words. Discretion.
What does
You'll
discretion mean, lad? You
It
see,
means it's like a large amount of books.
I see. Well, that isn't what discretion means. That's why I want to spell it out. I don't want you to tell anyone what you saw here or what I said to you or what you said to me, including this guard fellow that sent you. Yes?
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
What if okay.
No, come
Okay.
in. Let's get you something to eat. He gives you a gold. Boink! Drops it into your palm, like he's sort of holding what looks to be, like sort of very clearly he's holding something in his hands. You put out your palm. He drops a coin.
Okay.
That was to make good on this promise. He drops a second. That was for your honesty. And then a third. And that, sir, is for your discretion. It's a noun. It means to be careful with what you tell to people. All right?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come on. Let's feed you. He calls out, Sheena! Sheena! We'll take tea and bring me some stew. Whatever it was you're cooking, that smells wonderful. And you see sort of, yes, sir, you got it. Sort of a big kind of bellowy response as you are now sort of standing in the antechamber of this very large manor house.
Is this the same voice that
Yes.
I met? Yeah, same voice, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
It appears to be the older woman.
Okay, cool. Am I stuck in this room? Fuck. All right.
Well, you tell me. Like, you're sort of like right there. Like, in my mind, you were walking past him and he was paying you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll just be sitting I'll just sit with my head kind of in this gold, like, and I'll have my back turned with the head to the.
Okay. So the high office in there, he's sort of gesturing in one of those, like, come in here, stay here. You see a very, like, handsomely furnished kind of waiting room, lounge. Several deep cushioned love seats, what appears to be a chaise. You're walking and you're sitting down.
Uh-huh.
Okay, great. So this gentleman elf comes and sits across from you. Let's say you sit down on one of the love seats. He sits down on this adjacent chaise. Now, it's a lounge meant to be reclined on. He is seated kind of up front, his elbows resting on his knees, his hands steepled in front of him.
Okay.
You see pulling off his riding gloves and taking off sort of his riding boots as well behind him is Lord Chalamet. Yes, there are other words that can be taught, but we don't need to cram yourself full of them. Did you get a chance to read that, my dear friend, Lord Sealan?
So yes, I did. It was quite an interesting read.
He asks you again to sort of describe Tylus, and you do so. I mean, I assume, if you would.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
He takes it.
But no, at first I'm like, I don't even know, like, I'm not supposed to tell anybody.
Love it. That's a good boy. You can spill the beans to him. He's within the circle of trust.
I don't know. I just, I don't know. I can't remember.
You see? A sharp learner and a quick boy. I like that. Perhaps you could stay and muck out our stables. Something along those lines. I need a boy that has, I don't know, some wherewithal, learns quick.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it has discretion.
You see him, he kind of laughs at this, and as he's beginning to respond, exactly,
Oslo, please, Lord Protector, I would hope that I could have but a moment with this boy to speak with him. This letter is quite specific. Oh, it is a bit confusing as well.
You would like privacy in my own home?
If you would allow it, yes.
And you see, obviously, like, you are who you are. You're not necessarily this guy, Jimmy. So there's an awareness within you, Coleridge. Like,
yeah.
This guy is an extremely powerful individual, Lord Derek at least. And the fact that this guy is essentially asking for the room, is you imagine...
It's a little nerve-wracking.
A little unorthodox, right? I suppose so, yes. And he, fine, take your moment, I'll wait. And he sort of spins, and as he's going to exit the door, he almost collides in with Sheena. Oh, I was just coming in with the tea. It's fine, Sheena, I'll give it to me. And there's perhaps a brief moment, like, oh, thank God. He sort of turns, you hear footsteps departing from this waiting room. He comes and he sits it down. At least let me serve you tea, masters. No secrets. I'll be in a couple of minutes.
Okay.
He steps outside. This beautiful gilded door closes. In this incredibly ornate waiting room that itself is, in many places gilded, gold-framed lamps. There's a full-length mirror on one side that kind of, expands the space. You see things you've never seen before, ever in your life, Coleridge. There appears to be a device that's almost like what you would think of as like a poncho, but it appears to be sort of captured around these big rings of brass and positioned in like a really specific way. You're not sure what the fuck it is. You're like, is that a device? Like, how do I interact with that? You perhaps have 5 seconds, 10 seconds to take this in before this elf leans. You see him undo the top collar and button and work his way down just a bit, pulling it open.
So, tell me who really gave you this letter, boy. I know that it wasn't some god that was waiting for you and asking you to watch for us. Who gave you this?
That's exactly what happened. Why would you think otherwise?
The way you reached for the answer back there when the Lord Protector asked. You may have fooled him, but not me.
Are you one of those guys that walks around with the high collars that went around and, killed that menagerie guy yesterday?
He stands, he takes off this coat. It's sort of dark crimson. And you see now, emblazoned on this, like, very kind of rich-looking tunic, again with this high collar he's undone, that same Twin Peaks, split by a figure raising one arm, is also on the outside of this tunic.
There was much that transpired last night that I wish I had been a witness to, for I did not get a chance to see.
I can tell you all about it.
If only I could trust your words, young Jimmy.
Well, you seem to got me pegged pretty good. You want me to tell you a story and see if you believe it?
Maybe I will, but let me pick the tale that you tell, huh?
Sure.
He leans forward, begins pouring tea, sets it down. Steam sort of arises, splitting the silence between the two of you.
One of our refiners was killed last night. Those that were inside the tent say that they saw two exit living. The man that runs this twisted freak show was bleeding upon the dirt inside his very own tent. So, that led to more significant means being exerted. Whoever gave you this, and I am eager to know, they pry into questions. They get in the way of people seeking answers that have been posed and sought after for a very long time. So be careful, little Jimmy, for you don't know quite how deep this squirrel hole goes.
Okay.
So, you were to tell me the truth about who or what gave you this, huh? Perhaps a man that is a bit richer than a god, yeah?
There was a rich guy near the guy that gave this to me. And his wife. I think his wife. Old woman, old man. Nice clothes like yours.
I want you to know that as Forge Keeper, the death of any refiner is one that I take very personally, yeah?
Okay.
So, no.
I'm sorry. I didn't know that a refiner died. I didn't hear that. I didn't see that.
It was more than just that rich whelp of a boy, that gnomish trickster that probably had it coming to him. Also was a very large half-orc man that stole a ship. It was not a good night for all of us here.
What are you guys doing here?
He unfolds this letter, reads it again.
Because like, I do things real well, and I practice discretion, and if you need anybody to kind of like, if you need to write a letter and to like run it back to the guy that gave me that letter, I can do that, because like I now have more money than I've ever had in my life, and I keep it that way. And he said to go and clean out the stables, which is like, I would do that for maybe like 2 days, but then I probably wouldn't do it anymore because I'd get so bored. But you seem to have like neat stuff I can do.
You are a strange one, Jimmy.
Ambitious.
I can see that. Give me a persuasion check.
16.
Fuck yeah. Okay, how about this? You take a letter of mine back to this guard that gave you this letter, yeah?
Sure, yeah.
And what I would like you to do is find out for me when the man that wrote this letter is going to sail. I know he's a merchant man that is soon making to sea, but I would like to know when. Huh?
Yeah, I'll tell you.
There'll be a gold in it for you if you do, and
gold. That's my going rate of gold.
And there will
You
be
know,
10 gold if you can find a way to get me onto that man's ship, huh?
I can do that. I can do that.
Well, and perhaps there's more than tea that we can have together, yeah?
As he sort of is leaning forward, you see, I mean, this guy is like half elf. I mean, like sort of a widow's peak. Elves are sort of weird when they age. This guy does seem like he's a little bit older, been through a little bit more. But as that's happening, knock, knock. Look, I can't be lounging in my own anteroom. It's absurd. Anything that you need to say, you may say in front of me. And, well, if you're browbeating this man for trying to curry favor, I won't have it. That's just how the game is played, all right? Oh, that's fine. I don't mind playing that game, too. Well, good. He pulls up. He realizes there's, like, no tea's been poured for him. He's sort of miffed. He pours for himself. So, what should I miss? And as he's sort of looking back and forth to both you guys, I think we'll call it there, Coleridge. Okay. / Jimmy.
I want that letter.
Yeah. Oh, yes, no, for sure. That does happen.
Yeah, all right.
Been completed, for sure.
I can't believe Sheena didn't see me.
Yeah.
Just like, maybe it's just so bizarre to, I was just hoping, I was like, fuck, I should have changed my appearance after I left there, but I was like, fuck it, no.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure.
Cool. I don't really know, like, Coleridge has zero idea what his intentions are. He's really just stirring shit, and that's
okay. That's
so
great.
Sorry.
No, dude, that's great. Listen, this was awesome. I love this. I'm sorry that I wasn't clearer with some of that stuff in the Lord Protector's house.
Oh, I think that my head is just like I start imagining and then I quit listening, and that's my
of course
fault.
I can do that too. And for a brief moment at the front of that, I wasn't sure if you wanted, if you meant to go to the Golden Fields initially. So I did have that like as a question.
I mean the Golden Fields is next. Check in on my boy Ty.
Yeah, let's go.
See how, and then we gotta see. Oh, what was the name of the kid that I fucking... Did I get that kid's name that I paid off for Rosie?
Vaga, love you. The kid's name?
I forgot.
Oh, I don't think you ever got it.
Maybe I can get it.
Yeah, we can call him Urchin 1.
Okay, Urchin.
Get the actual name from him.
Looking for Urchin 1.
He is missing his right hand, dude.
No, I did get his name because I told him I was Jimmy. But I'll look back at the tape. It was all right.
Oh yeah, I have all of them. Well, whatever. We can double check that. I'm also gonna get you that
better man than me.
Because, yes, I just want to get you that. But bro, I love you, dude.
Yeah, that was
doing this.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what happens. He's definitely gonna try to get in. But I think you knew that this guy, that Lord Backbrook, excuse me.
Yeah, if he wants to be on Backbrook's ship, I know when it's leaving, and I know what the ship is.
You 100% do.
And this guy can look like I can dress him up like a fucking priest.
You're like, I have alter self, but I therefore have an unused disguise self.
That kid.
A disguise kid, exactly.
I don't think that he would do that, but.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. No, it's very scary for me as well. DMing for only one. Like, I felt that with Matt Trammell big time, where I was like, okay, well, depending who passes and who fails this insight check.
Yeah, it is a little bit like that. Like, you're so dependent on, God, I just feel like it's like, man, I would fucking be off to the races if I just had a good investigation here.
I know. Is your perception better than investigation? Because a lot of times,
no, it's zero.
It's the same.
I don't have any.
Yeah, that's fucking
I don't have anything
tough,
in either. I'm 10 intelligence, 10 wisdom, and no proficiency in either. So.
Yeah, that's hard. That's hard to overcome.
Yeah, that's pretty tough, especially for a guy that's like just basically doing covert operations.
Yeah.
Perhaps. I don't think I had I couldn't choose that though. I don't think I had that opportunity.
Wait, to do what?
To choose proficiency in it,
Oh, I see.
I want to say that I don't think like any of them give investigation, but
yeah, maybe. I see. And what's your background again?
Charlatan.
I
think it's yeah, because I have the disguise.
No, you're such a trickster for sure.
Yeah.
Right, look into
cool.
that.
I think it's like hilarious because it just means he has to talk his way out.
Everything. But he's so good at
everything.
That.
Like
I love
like he has to get that. He's good at. He's good at like at getting information. I think, and
Yeah. But you picking the beggar to just pay is very funny to me. Where it's like, okay, yeah, that's Sure. Gold? Yes. That will succeed.
Yeah.
Bless you, dude.
Yeah.
Guys, I love y'all. Thank you for rolling through. Vago, love you. Appreciate it. All the offline follows, OD Law, Nate D&T, and the Grundimer. Shout out. The Grundimer I know. I was embracing him but yesterday. So thank you, Grundo. And as I mentioned, I think my next stream will be Friday, but we will have, regardless of when it is, another tank top giveaway, bro. Made it to 150. Thank you for the love and support. And Brian, thank you for lending me your talents, dude, here on this channel.
No, thanks. I'm hoping to win the tank top.
You know what? Yeah, exactly. You're like, I need one to give away.
Oh, do you?
No. I'm saying you do.
Oh,
I've already given you.
No, I have mine is a little tight.
Hey, man.
It's good.
It's called motivation.
Yeah. All right. That was fun, man. I could have done that for another.
I know.
For a long time.
I know. It's just because we had to start a little bit late because of me. Otherwise, we would. But we're gonna pick up with you essentially needing to make a decision on how and when and if you're departing on this ship. That's how we'll plan it.
Yeah. Well,
That's how we'll plan it. Unless, of course, this maid rolls back in and fucks everything up. But any last words, Brian, before we get out of here?
No, thank you all so much for watching. This is a lot of fun. Thank you, John.
No, dude, a pleasure. Appreciate the love and support, guys. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. We will see